Welcome to another episode of Listen to Us Rant About Movies. I'm Wes Ford.
And I'm Zach Harris.
And if you like what you hear, you can find all of our episodes on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and YouTube. What we like to do is we rant about movies and we drink while we do it. Tonight, I am drinking Anderson Valley's Summer Solstice, a cream ale, which just sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like cream ales, but I've never had like a summer themed cream ale.
I've never had a cream
ale. It seems
ale.
like conflicting. Oh yeah, they're good. I'm a fan.
We'll try it out in a sec. What do you have?
Yeah. I have from Pipeworks, Blood of the Unicorn. It's a red ale.
Nice.
Couldn't find another cream, so went with the red. You know.
Go with the red. You know.
No, got a red. Drink it. You know.
Yeah, it's a Blood of the Unicorn, so it'd probably be pretty good. You know.
Yeah. I like drinking blood, so if this is anything like that, I'll be satisfied.
You'll be set.
Yeah. I've never had unicorn blood, so I don't know, it might be a little different. But like dog blood, human blood, bat blood, all great blood to drink.
What do you say
But
we
people
give it a
don't know,
shot then?
you know?
Let's give it a try then,
Yeah,
bro.
let's take a sip. How's yours?
Not a big fan. Like, I'll drink it because I'll drink anything, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe because it's not cold enough, but I don't know. It just like it doesn't cream ale. It kind of tastes like almost like a pumpkin ale. Tastes a little bit like a fall pumpkin ale.
It's a little thicker tasting.
It's supposed to be like creamy and like smooth, which it is, but I don't know. The flavor is a little strange.
Is it trying to be like a summery like wheat thing, but also cream? Because I don't know how you lighten up a cream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you can definitely, it says on the bag, and you can definitely taste it. There's some caramel flavor in there, smooth body, and yeah, I don't get the summer aspect of it whatsoever. But
maybe it was just cream ale left over from winter, and they printed summer labels
Right.
over it.
Probably,
Like, it's new beer, guys.
like we
Sprinkle some seasonings in every bottle, and we're fine.
yeah, we gotta get rid of this. You know, hey, summer solstice is up. Let's just get rid of this cream shit.
Yeah.
How's yours taste?
It's good. It's a hoppy red ale, and that's definitely the case. But I like it. It's definitely hoppier than I normally like, but it's not as like full on bitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's strange. It's like almost like a really smooth like red, but then there's that like a bite at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like those kinds of beers, so I'd probably.
It's
like
interesting. I think you would like it. It's good.
Yeah. Nice. Gotta try the Pipeworks, man. You always drinking those.
Yeah, it's good stuff. You know, Chicago beer.
Chicago, you know.
Chicago, you know.
This one's from California.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What is it called again? What's the brand?
It's Anderson Valley. It's from
Anderson Valley.
Boonville, California.
Oh, Boonville, huh?
Oh, Boonville, you know what I'm saying? On the cover, it's got like this bear with deer antlers, which is interesting.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Anyway, so this episode we will very briefly discuss just a few films and shows we've been watching since our last episode, and then we'll dive into our triple header review, which is Okja, Baby Driver, and The Beguiled. Those are the three films.
Beguiled.
That's right. Three great filmmakers, three great discussions. But for all three films, you should know that we will be discussing spoilers. So you've been warned. You will get spoiled if that's not something
Going right
you want.
into spoiler town on these ones, you know.
Already, you know, there's lots to talk about. We don't have time to do, unfortunately, spoilers and non-spoilers. So
So we're just going to start off by saying the end of every movie at the beginning of the review. Just, like, list all the spoilers in a row.
Yeah,
you know what I
don't
mean?
even
Isn't
say...
that the plan?
Yeah, don't say anything about your opinion. Just tell them what happens. That's it.
Yeah, just the end of the movie, last 5 minutes.
Yep.
What does it look like? What do we think?
What are we feeling?
Yeah.
So, I'll go ahead and start off with the watch list, brah. First one I'll talk about is The Black Coat's Daughter.
Oh, nice. You watched it.
I did.
What'd you think, brah?
I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
It's good. I like films that deal with, like, the occult and stuff that, like,
Yeah.
kind of demons and such. I don't want to spoil too much because it was actually quite a nice surprise for me where this film goes. But I will say that it's a pretty effective, like, spooky horror film. It's very eerie and kind of just like you're very much on edge while you watch the film. It's very eerie, and I just like where it leads. The cast is actually fantastic. The main actress, Kiernan Shipka, she was in Mad Men.
Okay.
For one thing, she basically plays the main character who becomes possessed by this evil spirit. And it follows her and the people that she affects around her. And she's amazing. Like, she's just a really good actress.
Real good.
She's so young too, and like the emotion she expresses through all the scenes like are great. It also stars Emma Roberts, who's also pretty good in it.
Okay, yeah. I knew there was someone else.
Yeah.
New in there.
And what is her name? She was in, gotta find it. She was in one of my favorite films from last year, Lucy Boynton, or Boynton. She was in Sing Street. She's the girl from Sing Street.
Oh, okay, nice.
So she's in it too. So it's a pretty good cast, and one thing that I will say about it is it has this. It kind of feels like it's a glorified student film. Kind of just the overall concept feels like it would be a student film.
I got you.
Just has a lot more money to it, but I don't know. I just got the sense of that, and I think that comes from the director Oz Perkins. It's his first feature film. But that being said, it's a really good debut to start off with. I can't wait to see what else he can do, you know? And
yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out, dude. Definitely worth checking out.
How'd you watch it? Is it on anything, or did you rent it?
I got it on Amazon. I believe it's available
cool.
it's for Prime. You can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Ooh, nice,
so
nice.
if you have that, it's free. Worth checking out. And
I was that. Maybe I'll give it a poke. You know,
we're always talking about the indie horror. You know, that's like
real
nice, real solid.
Yeah.
This one actually was spooky.
Nice.
It actually scared me a little bit, just because it was just kind of freaky. So I think that's a good assessment of what it is. If it can do that to me, which I never get scared, I never get spooked out. Yeah. If it can make me kind of feel a little scared, a little kind of on edge, say it's worth a watch.
Hell yeah. Gotta check it.
I'll check it, Mike.
I watched... Which one? I watched Tetsuo the Iron Man, which is have you heard about this movie?
No.
It's a Japanese movie from like late 80s, I believe. Independent, super low budget, definitely like a passion project feeling thing.
Gotcha.
And it's basically about a guy who's like a metal fetishist.
Yeah.
Who gets like hit by this businessman, and then the businessman like is like weirdly like cursed into like just like mutating into metal, and it's real weird and real crazy.
It sounds crazy.
I was doing some reading up on it. Yeah, and everyone's like, it's one of the craziest movies you'll ever see. And I mean, I'm not saying no to that, you know. But it was It's pretty wild. There's like giant metal penises that are flying around and like all this crazy shit. It's really crazy, and like describing what happens almost like is, you gotta just watch it. But it's a nice short watch at like 65 minutes or something like that. It's real short.
Really?
Kind of got some like which is crazy. I'm like never about. I'm like, oh, how long is this movie? I was like, whoa, 65. All right, I'll pop this thing in this second. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
It's kind of nice. But also it's a good time for the movie. I didn't know if I needed to watch it for any longer. Not that I didn't like it. It's just like super relentless, like the whole time. Basically, it's
really?
Just, like really crazy. But there's like a cool industrial soundtrack, and the effects are really cool. They're super low budget, but it really works in its favor. It's just real wild, and I really enjoyed it. It's really creative. There's cool like people traveling across the city. They almost like shoot it like stop motion or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a guy in a pose like walking, and then it just like shoots through all the streets to the new location, but like almost like a time lapse.
Wow.
Like really fast.
That's cool.
Of them in like the same spot, and like that's really fun. And there's always like a cool music cue that goes with it. The score is really good. I think it's one of those things. I'm not sure if the director composed it. I think they did the score. But yeah, just looking at like the back, and it's just like cinematography, editing, directing, writing. It's just like totally like passion project.
Total passion.
This guy
project.
was just this guy's just doing everything. It's black and white. It's like little black and white metal fetishist crazy horror movie. It's really good though. It's super gross at times. Like the intro is like the metal fetishist guy like shoving like a rod, like slicing his leg open, and he like shoves like a rod into it, and it's like ooh, and then it's like in his body, and then like finds maggots in it, and it's like it's super gross. But
he's like obsessed with metal.
Yeah, but then he gets hit by a car, and then like this other guy starts transforming into metal, and then by the end they're just like this like crazy like metal monster, and like it's pretty fun. It's definitely fucked, but it's a lot of fun in a certain way.
Yeah, sounds
like,
awesome.
The costumes and stuff are pretty crazy, and like yeah, it's cool. I would give it a watch if there's a way to easily access it. And I think there's two more. One made shortly after, and then one made like late 90s with like American actors. So
how'd you watch it?
Blu-ray. I just got that blue from abroad.
Good old baby blues.
Mm-hmm. Came with the second one too, not the third one though, which is kind of a bummer. So
that is a bummer.
Probably watch that second one soon.
Nice. Cool, dude. It sounds crazy.
Yeah,
might have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely crazy. Like, didn't know what much to think about it when it was over, except for like, that was cool. It's
right.
Super wild.
So I checked out The Founder.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, been wanting to watch that for a while.
Yeah, totally.
Have you watched this?
I have. I watched it on a plane.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you talked about this a couple episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought Michael Keaton was great. He's your typical Michael Keaton guy. He's got all his Michael Keaton mannerisms and quirks.
It's pretty Keaton.
I love Keaton, so it was great.
Is Burger?
Yeah. But he's like a very likable asshole type.
Yeah, totally.
I thought Nick Offerman was great in it.
Yeah, he was good.
I thought Laura Dern was wasted.
Totally.
Like
she was drunk the whole movie. I'm just No, yeah, she was completely wasted in that movie. She had nothing to do. She was just like a housewife, and then
it's just like 4
scenes. And
she's only there to be like, I disagree with everything that you're doing. I'm here to be the force that you know what I mean, are going against your ambitions, and I don't support you. Like, she is only that wife character, and that's kind of.
And also, And also it's kind of annoying because it's like, I don't support you because you're already gone all the time and now you'll just be gone more. Like, it's not like an unreasonable thing for her.
No,
but
totally.
Then it just kind of makes, you know, so it's like, it's kind of a frustrating role.
Yeah. It's just like such a great talent placed into that role.
Definitely.
It's like, it just feels like a waste. But that being said, you know, she did what she had to do for that role. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just like an interesting story about McDonald's and like the industry and just like kind of, you know, how that fed into, you know, corporate America and like it's crazy how far it's gone. It's like these McDonald's boys, you know, they were the first to start this fast system, and now it's used by everything.
Yeah.
You know,
totally, and even things like wrapping burgers in a wrapper.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what? Where's the plate?
Yeah, where's the plate?
It's like, no, it's a wrapper. Just throw it in the grass. She's like, whoa. You know? It's like, yeah, I guess that's weird. You know?
Yeah.
Fast food didn't exist.
It's like, that's
but I feel like that's even adopted by, like, you know, other things, too. Just, the wrapper.
Yeah.
Loose wrapper? I don't know. Interesting.
And just, like, everything being done at once. You know, you have your order. It's ready for you almost instantly. And it's cool. It's really interesting. And honestly, had to get a McDonald's burger after I watched it.
Oh yeah, you went got some Mickey D's.
It looks so good. Yeah,
it's really funny.
I was craving that Mickey D's, man. After that,
hey, I probably would have too. I was just like leaving. Then if I was getting on the plane and then watched it, or like it switched, would have happened. But it was just like at that point, it's like, get me out of this airport. I'm leaving. You know?
Right. Yeah, but no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was entertaining and
yeah, it's a good watch.
It's a good watch. Good easy.
Didn't know
watch.
Patrick Wilson was in it. That was a surprise.
Yeah, I didn't know either. There were a couple surprises. Who else was a surprise? There was like someone else.
Patrick Wilson's wife? She was of no. Oh, it's like Linda Cardellini.
Yeah, Linda Cardellini, dude. What? At first I didn't recognize her because you never see her as a blonde, you know. Yeah,
totally.
And she was in this, which was strange, but
Linda Tortellini.
It's interesting to see, like, because I was actually, I don't know if you knew this, you probably knew this, but I worked at McDonald's for 2.5 years in high school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, like, it's even like more strange for me because when I was working there, they were like, oh, you know, they'd show us some videos and they're like, here's some videos about our history with our founder Ray Kroc. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot more
Maybe
to that.
Maybe he's the founder, but
right.
He's not the founder.
He's the founder of the McDonald's Corporation, and he stole everything.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's crazy. It's crazy that this movie was able to be made, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Big of a corporation as McDonald's is to use their insignia and everything, like, kind of crazy. But it did make me want to go to McDonald's, so I guess it succeeded.
So it worked,
right?
Yeah. They're like, we're gonna get those people are gonna leave, and they're just gonna want a McDonald's hamburger. They're coming through our drive-thrus.
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
But yeah, it's definitely worth checking out for the listeners who haven't watched it. I saw it on I rented it on iTunes, the Apple TV.
Okay. So I watched Hell in the Pacific by John Boorman.
Hell in the Pacific.
Believe it's like late 60s, and it stars Toshiro Mifune and Lee Marvin. And it's like two soldiers get like marooned on a island, deserted island, and like doesn't really show how it happens. It just starts and Mifune's on the island, and then Lee Marvin shows up, and it's just about like them coming to terms with each other. First they're like fighting over water, and then they kidnap each other, and then eventually they band together to like get off the island. But boy, is that a good film. It's amazing.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, love me some Johnny Bohr. He's a good boy, and it's no exception. I'd watched it like probably like 5 or 6 years ago, but pretty much lost sight of it. Didn't remember much, so it just came out on Blu-ray, And picked it up, gave it a watch, and boy howdy, it's a good one.
Worth it, huh?
Oh yeah, dude, pick it up, dude. It's on Amazon. Just get it right now.
I'll buy it right now.
It's so good. I mean, just the casting choices alone are pretty incredible. Like, love me some Toshiro, love me some Lee Marvin. It's just like these are like the only two people in this whole movie. That's incredible. You know, it's like,
dude.
Pretty good choices.
Toshiro
for
is
only
so
having
good.
two. Yeah, man, he's great.
Yeah.
But there's also a good interview with John Boorman on there, and he talks about working with Mifune and just like how Mifune would like he always wanted to play the character as like a buffoon, which I guess kind of like I can see because I feel like in a lot of Kurosawa stuff, like in Seven Samurai, he's like that kind of like goofy character, you know, and he plays it really well. But he kept playing the character like a buffoon, and he would have to be like Boorman would come up and be like, no, like that's not right. Like I want you to do it like this, and then he would just do it again, and he just did it exactly the same, and they would have to like go back to the ship, like argue for like hours, and then come back and shoot, and then he would do it like once the way he wanted, and like John Boorman would like direct him through a translator, and Mifune would get super mad at the translator all the time, and like be yelling at him, but then turn to John Boorman and just like smile and be really nice. It's just like this really weird thing. He's like, I didn't understand why he was acting this way. It's like, that's what I said, not this poor man. Like, it's really funny.
It's really funny.
Yeah, but that he was, and then he was talking about how like he met with Kurosawa, and like Kurosawa was like, yeah, you can't really rein in Mifune. You kind of just let him loose or something like that. It's just like Mifune is just gonna do whatever Mifune does. Like,
he doesn't take direction at all.
Yeah, just was pretty interesting because he's amazing. You know, it's like no one that's no direction. Like he doesn't take it at all. It's all Mifune. It's crazy.
I guess when you get the Mifune, you just got you got to let him go. Just you get what you're casting. You know, it's just
totally.
It's a Lone Ranger.
But yeah, it's an amazing movie. Really good photography, super cool score. Lee Marvin's a champ, Mifune's a champ, Boorman's a champ. Champs all around. You know, just a fucking good flick, bud.
It looks amazing, dude.
It's so good. Should buy that blue. It's a nice new Kino blue, you know?
Did they just do like a 4K transfer of it or something?
It's some new restoration. I don't know if it's from 4K, but it definitely looks really good. It's fantastic.
Might have to pick that up, bud.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
I recommend it.
Very good. Last film I'll talk about, I watched it last night. And, it took me a while to get to this movie because I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. But it was very highly recommended by some friends. It's Central Intelligence.
Oh, nice. The Dwayne Little Heart Big Johnson?
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Dude, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good, dude. It's really funny. It's really funny, and it's just really smart too. The script itself is just smartly written, and these two guys just have so much charisma, and they're just so physically comedic, and having them like work together, and like Dwayne Johnson's character is so wacky. Yeah. He I don't know if you know anything about it, but he basically plays like... Basically, they went to high school together. Kevin Hart's character was the most popular kid in school. Yeah, everyone loves him to like a really funny degree. Like everyone just like worships him. He's like perfect in every way. And Dwayne Johnson's character was like this really obese guy who just like everyone made fun of him and no one liked him and everything. And Kevin Hart was the only guy who was nice to him. And so it like skips to present day, and Kevin Hart's an accountant, and he's like unhappy with his life. He thought he was going to be this big shot something, and Dwayne Johnson's like this really weird and wacky guy on the run from the government, He's running away from the CIA.
Okay.
And I don't want to spoil the rest of the story, but that's basically the premise.
Yeah.
And basically, Kevin Hart gets lured into this like mission of espionage and everything else. But I don't know. It's really funny. Definitely check it out, dude. I was laughing my ass off. Yeah, so I think you'd like it. It's really
Little
fun.
Hart and
Just
a Big
real
Johnson.
good movie. Yeah, just it's a good fun movie just to pop in, you know, at
Yeah,
night.
for
and
sure.
Just, like, I don't know what to watch. It's hilarious.
Dude, I like some
I
Dwayne.
highly recommend it. Like,
get
it's
some Dwayne.
way better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm always looking for good Dwayne because, like, I like me some Dwayne, but I feel like the stuff he's in, I'm not like, you know, he's
I
making
know.
some
I
poor
mean-
choices. So if it's good Dwayne, I'm in. Plus, Kevin Hart's funny too. I like Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's hilarious. I love me some Dwayne Johnson. I do say that, like, the stuff lately, like Jumanji and everything, I'm starting to get a little fatigued. I'm getting a little rock fatigue. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But this definitely reminded me that he's really good, and I enjoy everything that he's in. So,
Nice.
Yeah, worth checking out, dude.
Boy, that Jumanji trailer though.
Rough.
Whew. That's a
Rough.
tough one right there.
Yeah, it honestly made me angry.
It's just like, what are you guys doing? Like, what is this? This is not Jumanji. Why is this called Jumanji? They go in
It's the
instead of it coming out.
worst.
That's like the whole appeal of Jumanji.
It's the worst possible way to go about it. You know what I mean?
And it's also
The
like
worst
I'm watching Jumanji, and never once do I go, boy, I just want them to expand the universe of this. You know, it's just like, I don't give a shit.
Right.
It's Jumanji. It's fine. Like, just leave it alone. Who cares? Like, it's like the most generic concept. It can be anything. Just call it any other thing. It's just weird that it's
know.
called Jumanji. I'm not saying it'd be
And the fact
better
that
if it wasn't, but
It has nothing to do with the board game. It's like a video game version.
it's wild
It's like, what?
that it exists.
It makes
believe
no sense.
It makes zero sense. I do not understand the thought process behind that at all. It's like, what are you guys doing
God.
with this, huh? What's this?
I
all
know. I know.
about? Brutal.
We'll definitely not be watching that
No.
flick. But one little thing more about Central Intelligence. The director, Rawson Marshall Thurber, same director as Dodgeball and We're the Millers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Good biz, good biz.
anyway, seriously, Zach, I think you'll laugh quite a bit.
Yeah,
You should
man.
watch it,
I gotta check it. Gotta watch Central Intelligence. Get my Dwayne on.
dude. And it's free on Amazon Prime.
Oh, it is? Nice.
Yeah.
Get that Dwayne rocking, bud.
But that Kevin Hart, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that is a hysterical tagline. Little Hart and a Big Johnson. It's outrageous.
It's hilarious.
It's outrageous. Good job, though. Like, good job
Yeah.
to them.
Yep. Real good.
I didn't have anything new that I watched. I did some rewatches. I watched Koyaanisqatsi and Powakatsi, both fantastic. Love them, and they're the best. Have you seen those?
No.
Ooh, dude,
I don't know what you...
next crit sale. Pick up that Katsi trilogy. Look that bad boy up right now.
Oh, the Kazi trilogy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard of that.
pick that blue up. Pick it up. Walk in the
it
store,
up.
put your hand on it, and pick it up, and then pay for it. Or just, what's the price out on Amazon? Just pick that bad boy up right now. 2-day shipping. Get it there real quick. Watch those bad boys. They're
Watch those
amazing.
Bad boys.
They're so good.
How do you spell it? K.
Koyaanisqatsi.
K-O-Y.
I think.
Oh, okay. I see it.
But yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's
the
3.
Quatsi trilogy. Yeah.
They're amazing.
Never seen any of them, but I've heard of them.
Do you know, like, the concept of it?
Not really.
Well, it's like purely visual, no dialogue, no narration.
Wow.
Only Philip Glass score.
What?
And it's just, like, incredible photography. The first one's really industrial, so it's, like, all about, like, cities and like just showing life in cities, showing people moving quick. It's like a lot of time lapses. It's all about like industrialization. And then the second one is about like Western culture influencing like other cultures like further out in the world. And it's like people farming and people like can't like building these huge like thing. I don't know. It's amazing. They're so good. And then the third one's about technology, and that one came later. And I believe it was produced by Soderbergh.
Wow.
Which is still good. Probably the lesser of the three, but still solid. But yeah, some of the best photography and best score. Like the score to those movies, it's like it's too good. Like shut it down. I'm gonna walk downstairs and break the vinyl of it I have right in half. I have a poster of it too. I'll probably just rip that down, rip it up into pieces.
Shouldn't exist.
It's too good. You gotta watch them. They're so good. I think that crit sale's coming up.
Next crit sale.
I think it's coming up.
Nice. There's
we should
that.
have a crit sale
I'll get
special
that.
where we both just like purge and buy tons of crits, but then we have to watch them all in a certain amount of time. It's just like just buy like 20 movies and you're like, fuck, I gotta watch all these in a week. Shit.
Yeah.
Just force myself to watch them.
There was one other movie I said I would get on the next crit sale. What was that? Do you remember?
Let me see if... Oh, Tampopo. Gotta get Tampopo, bud.
Yeah, Tampopo.
Gotta get Tampopo.
Speaking of Criterion real quick, I'm on the site looking at it. First up, coming up, there's 2 films. Certain Women is coming to Criterion.
Ooh, real excited about that. I haven't seen it yet.
Me neither. That's cool. Also, David Lynch, The Art Life, which I want to see.
Definitely want to see it. It's
You
like...
haven't seen it either yet?
No, I haven't. I kind of just wish they would release... I mean, it's easy to say, but it's like, just put out a David Lynch movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And put out the doc. But like just the doc, it's like, where's the accompanying Lynch film, guys? Give me another one. You got 2 on there. Give me 3.
Come on, let's go.
You know what doesn't have a Blu-ray release in America? Lost Highway. You know what doesn't have Blu-ray release in America? Straight Story. Come on. Dune Director's Cut? Not available. Come on. Or I guess it's not a director's cut. It's just an extended cut. But whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess that'll wrap it up for our watch list, bud. Let's get to our reviews. This is the good stuff.
Oh yeah, baby.
Crack my beer. So right now we're gonna begin our first review. Joon-ho Bong's, or also known as Bong Joon-ho's, Netflix film Okja, starting right now.
We needed a miracle. And then we got one. This beautiful and special little creature will be a revolution in the livestock industry. Our super pigs will not only be big and beautiful, they will also leave a minimal footprint on the environment, consume less feed, and produce less excretions. And most importantly, they need to taste fucking good.
So, man, what'd you think? What'd you think of Okja?
I liked Okja.
Yeah?
I liked Okja. Yeah, I did. I do think there's some things that are not quite perfect. Mm-hmm. I think there are some things that are I guess questionable about why he decided to do those types of decisions. But overall, I really enjoyed the film. I thought the main actress was really great. She really grounded the film.
Totally.
With all the wacky humor that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's like a bunch of shifts in genres, it felt to me.
Definitely. Tonally, it's kind of all over the place. In a good way, though. I liked that about it.
Yeah, I feel like it was effective. That was clearly the decisions, that was done on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. You agree?
I loved it. I was all about it.
Yeah.
I was just like having so much fun watching it.
Yeah.
I will say it was funny. We paused it because like someone was coming by, and then they left, and we played it. And I think we stopped it at the most tonal shift from like when things start getting grim. You know what I mean? So it was really funny just being like hopped up on it, like, oh boy, this is so much fun. I'm loving it.
Great.
And it just like immediately gets sad when we play it again. But there were a couple things that I wasn't crazy about. But overall, I was a huge fan. I liked it a lot. I just had like a huge grin on my face, just like smiling like until I didn't, which for like a good reason. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not like it stopped working on me. It just like it goes, you know, gets sad but good ending. And
I guess we can go ahead and we can spoil it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm used to just talk in general, but
yeah. So the sad part you're talking about is clearly the ending where all the pigs are being slaughtered, right? And they walk away.
Well, there's also I feel like the first scene where you see Okja after they install the thing in the ear, and like like we can see what she sees or whatever, and then the first time it cuts to like them watching the footage when it's like them mating with the other giant super muscle pig. And then, like, right after that, or it's either after or before that, there's the scene with Jake Gyllenhaal where he's just, like, getting wasted, and then he takes the meat samples. I feel like that was the point where it kind of shifted for me, at least, where it was, like, starting to get more serious and, like, the stakes feeling higher. Whereas before, it was kind of, like, whimsical and, like, fun. Like, it's playing, like, super silly music, and, like, Okja's running through, like, the subway station or whatever. It's, like, super goofy.
Yeah.
But
I love the whole like just the beginning part felt like its own film. A little bit of it was there to make us attached to Okja, but it was effective because it was like Okja was so like adorable, and Okja looked great. Like the CG was pretty good.
Liked the design too.
Yeah, really
looking,
interesting
like,
to just go with like a very hybrid type animal. It's like a pig hippo
elephant thing. But like it doesn't look like outlandish, you know. It looks feasible to a point of like them like genetically building an animal, you know, which is cool.
It totally looks like it could be an animal that could be genetically modified. Yeah. I was surprised to see how smart Okja was too.
Totally.
Like saving the girl, you know, with the rope.
With the branch or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And like swinging her around. I was like, dang, this is like really intelligent kind of creature.
Yeah.
So a couple things I wasn't crazy about. I wasn't crazy about Jake Gyllenhaal's character. Like I didn't completely dislike him. I just didn't quite understand like what he was trying to do. It was almost like a flamboyant Joker or something. Like it
felt very much to me like a cartoon or like an anime character.
Yeah, totally.
Which personally I liked. I thought he was good. There was maybe a couple moments where I could like see through it, but generally I thought he was good. Like I liked when he shows up the first time you see him to the farm, and it's just like, get me a water, like, and just like being super outrageous, and then they start filming and he has a completely different voice and it's like way more composed and acts nothing like he actually acts.
Yeah. No, I totally think that he did a good job at the performance. I just didn't quite.
It's a strange choice for sure.
Yeah, it's a strange choice, but he committed to it, and I appreciate that.
Because he even kind of looks like a cartoon character. He's got the big mustache and the glasses, and the weird hair.
The way he dresses too, very wacky.
Yeah, it was very wacky. And I think it's especially weird because the times that he's almost at his wackiest are like some of the darker times in the movie, like that scene where he's taking the meat samples, and it's just like, whoa, things are getting dark in this movie, you know? And it's just like him being like crazy, you know?
Yeah, like he was just being drunk and insane. Tilda Swinton was good too.
Yeah, super good.
She was good.
Loved the braces. Big fan of the braces.
Yeah. Yeah, the braces. That's great.
And also just the fact that there's 2 Tilda Swintons is really funny. Just immediately when she's like, my sister, I was like, ooh, there's going to be 2 Tilda Swintons in this movie. Just know.
Yeah.
Like, she's coming
Didn't
up.
that happen in Hail Caesar?
Yeah, there were 2 Tilda Swintons in
yeah,
that, too.
So I thought that happened before.
Yeah. Just a funny thing. Just, like, knowing it. Just being like, oh, there's totally going to be 2 Tilda Swintons. And it's like, yep.
Yeah, totally. Paul Dano as well.
Yeah. Which I would say, I didn't think Paul Dano's performance was bad, but I think one of the scenes that I wasn't crazy about was when he just, like, beats the shit out of that guy.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little much. I don't know, it just didn't seem wholly necessary. Seems like they could have kept his character better if he maybe just, like, slapped him and told him to get out. Like, he didn't need to beat the shit out of him.
I don't know if that was just like this is the reason he's like our fearless leader.
Yeah.
Because if you fuck up, he'll make sure that you know you fucked up type of thing.
It's just like they portray him as such like a gentle guy the rest of the movie, and even after that happens.
Right.
That like, I get that he's like furious or whatever, but it seemed a little much to me. I don't know. But I did think his performance was good. Like, he was good in the rest of the movie. I didn't think he was bad.
He was great. He was great. Yeah, and like the movie looked great. Like I think it was pretty amazing that Netflix picked it up.
Yeah,
you know,
it's the most it's the biggest feeling Netflix movie that doesn't feel constrained by being a streaming movie that I've seen. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And I guess I haven't watched too many, and most of them that I've watched probably were acquired by Netflix, but they all kind of have that like. It's like that movie, like, I don't feel at home in this world anymore, or whatever. It's, like, good, and it doesn't feel restrained, but it feels like a tiny indie that Netflix picked up at a festival. You know what I mean? Where this feels like... It feels big. Yeah, it feels really big, and it doesn't feel constrained at all.
Totally, I agree. I'd have to say, I honestly think it's one of the best films I've seen this year so far.
I would agree. I was a huge fan. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. I did too. The ending, let's get to the ending again, which was just like really depressing. Like I
totally
genuinely was like sad, you know,
yeah,
with that whole
for
thing.
sure.
And it was like, obviously the message behind the film is like kind of pointing fingers at the food industry, you know,
for sure.
The pointing fingers at genetically modified foods and animal cruelty. I think that's like the message behind it, right? Definitely. Which I thought was interesting to have it so heavily on that topic, but the way to go about showing that was so wacky and interesting.
For sure, yeah.
And to just turn it into like an actual full-fledged film about many different things. Mm-hmm. Thought that was interesting.
It's a really interesting thing. It's just a really interesting movie, and it's like an interesting idea, especially for this guy to tackle. I guess he's had some goofy stuff in his movies before, and it fits. It's just like, I don't know. It was unexpected when I heard the announcement that this was his next movie. I was like, whoa. But also, like, boy, can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
Because, like,
seriously,
he has had goofy stuff in his movie before, and, like, you know, like the train car and Snowpiercer with like the little kids, or like the kind of buffoon character in The Host or whatever. But
yeah, and
obviously like Johnny Knoxville, or no, never mind. But I was getting confused. But yeah, I don't know, liked it a lot.
Yeah, so what else can we talk about with it? I don't know. I just generally liked it.
I thought it was great. Yeah. It's like cinematography was real good. All the performances I really liked. I guess I wasn't crazy about that one scene. Some of the stuff with them, with those characters. But also some of the stuff with them was super funny. Like the guy who won't eat because he wants to leave the smallest footprint he can. Like, that's hysterical.
Yeah.
Like, his character's really funny.
Like, he won't even eat at all. Like, nothing.
It's hysterical.
It's like, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I just had, like I said, I just had a big old grin on my face the whole time. I was loving it. Just loving it.
Yeah, like it goes through so many feelings of you got wackiness, you got great action.
Totally.
You know, there's actual great car chase action. There's like suspense. There's drama. There's just like sadness, and I don't know. It's really it's able to blend all those different things, and I think what grounds that is the main actress. Like, she's
for
just
sure.
so dedicated, and she'll do anything to get her animal back, you know, and she just, I don't know, that's really what grounds the film and connects everything together.
Definitely. Yeah, and she was great, and the grandpa was really funny too. He was good.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah.
Yeah, just a fucking good flick, man. Just a good flick.
Good flick. Oh, this is one thing I wanted to mention. So obviously I watched it on Netflix, and I watched it on 4K HDR.
Nice.
Which you can just stream that, and it looked amazing.
It was tasty?
It looked, oh my god, so tasty.
Dude, I gotta get in the 4K game, man. I got to.
It really is, like, once you have it, it's like, this is so worth it.
Did you go OLED
It's
on your
just-
TV, or is it just LED? Is it OLED?
It's actually, it's LED, but it's actually called SUHD.
Oh, okay.
It's Samsung's like imitation of OLED.
Okay.
So it's very close.
Yeah.
It's you can hardly tell the difference. It was a lot more expensive to get the SUHD.
Yeah.
Because it looks so much brighter and better than just the regular 4K.
Yeah, because it's a similar
HDR TVs.
thing, right? Of like the pixels that can just actually turn off, right?
Exactly. They call it the quantum dot technology that they have. Yeah, it's silly. But they're actually discontinuing the SUHDs.
Really?
I found this out. Yeah. So they're gonna have their normal LED line, and then they're just gonna have their OLEDs.
Oh,
It's like,
okay.
oh, but yeah, you had the in between. It's like,
Man, I gotta get.
I had something almost as good.
I gotta
It's
sneak
like,
in
man.
this in between before it goes out. Because that's my thing. It's like I want to go 4K, but I don't want to spend like $3,000 on a TV. But I also don't want to spend like $800 on a TV that's like just okay. That in like 2 years
Yeah.
I'm gonna want to buy an even better one. You know what I mean?
Sure. Dude, all I say is just like look for a good deal. Like Black Friday, probably the best time to do it.
Yeah. Or Super Bowl. I heard Super Bowl is a good time to do it too.
Yeah. So you got to be careful with, well, for Black Friday especially.
Because they have
they make TVs specifically for that.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like
stripped down
They
versions.
have a shorter shelf life. Yeah. Like a buddy of mine got his. He was the first to jump to 4K, and he got his at Black Friday. And the typical model of the TV that he got is 4K HDR. But his Black Friday version, same model, wasn't HDR though. It's not HDR.
Need that HDR.
And he got it for like $400. But that's why, because they stripped that.
Yeah.
So it's like, got to be careful.
For sure.
But yeah, I love my TV, dude. It's so good.
Is it curved or is it straight?
Straight?
Straight up boy.
Straight. Oh yeah. It's 55 inch.
Nice. I'm liking it.
Good size for my living room. I didn't need to be any bigger. I went for quality over quantity size, you know. So I got had to get the SUHD.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking 60 inch, but you know what? A little smaller, get the better quality.
Definitely.
Worth it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's all about the room you're sitting in, you know? Sometimes you don't need any more. Sometimes you do. But sometimes you don't, you know?
But dude, 55 inches is still huge.
Pretty giant TV.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Like,
Totally.
So, anyway. What would you rate Okja?
I think I'm giving Okja 4.5.
Oh, 4.5, buddy, over
4.5.
here.
I think there were things that bothered me about it, and it's definitely a flawed movie. But just in terms of, like, my enjoyment and, like, just watching it and being glad this movie exists, it's just, like, it's so weird and crazy, and there's so much going on, and it's just like, I'm just happy that it got made, and that Bong Joon-ho got to make this movie about a crazy super hippo pig thing. You know, it's like that's really cool that like they got all these like big actors to be in this super pig movie. Like, I'm into that.
Right? Totally, dude. I'd rate it 4.
Nice.
4 out of 5. Still great score. I think you just generally this is more of a Zach movie. Like, you just love these movies. But I think it is one of the best films I've seen this year. It's very possible it'll be on my top 10.
It was also a thing for me of like, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like thing for me if like we're doing 3 movies on the cast and no spoilers, but like, you know, you see the other movies, you can't help but like, you know, think about which ones you enjoyed more and that stuff. And I think
I
think
agree.
it got a little bump because of that, but we'll get to that in a few.
I feel you on that. I agree. Cool. So that's Okja. Check it out on Netflix.
There's no excuse not
Just
to
came
watch
out.
this movie. If you have Netflix,
None.
you should watch it. It's amazing.
Agreed. So now we'll move on to our review of
Bobby Driver?
Edgar Wright's Baby Driver, starting right now.
You've been my driver for every job since we met. You're the best in the business. I'm gonna need you behind the wheel again.
One more job and I'm done.
One more job, and we're straight.
Hey, baby.
Why is he listening to music all the time?
He had an accident when he was a kid.
He's got mental problems.
I'm the one got the mental problems in the crew. Position taken.
What is your name?
Baby.
Your name's Baby. B-A-B-Y, baby.
In this business, the moment you catch feelings is the moment you catch a bullet.
You are my lucky charm, and I'm not doing this job without you. Your waitress girlfriend, she's cute. Let's keep it that way.
I have to drive again. It's not what I want.
And what do you want?
To get out of here. You in?
I'm in, baby.
So Zach, what'd you think of Edgar Wright's latest flick, Baby Driver?
I was a little disappointed by Baby Driver, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I wanted to love it, rooting for Edgar. Didn't think it was a bad movie by any means, but I don't know, just didn't quite do it for me.
Like, you disliked it?
Yeah, I
Or
just
you
thought
were
I just thought it was okay. Like, it was good. I didn't think it was bad, but like it didn't bring necessarily anything that new. I guess essentially I felt like it was a movie that like felt reverse engineered. Like, I understand, like, when you're coming up with ideas, you go, ooh, like, this would be cool, or like listening to a song and like, ooh, I just want to like do this with that, you know what I mean? But it almost like I could feel that watching it. And I also think like I don't want to fault him for this, because I totally understand Edgar Wright like wanting to make something that's less niche and like not starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost or some comedian, you know what I mean? Make something that's just like its own thing. It's a gangster movie, or kind of, you know, it's like it's kind of like his take on like this genre or whatever. That's fine, but in a sense it just felt like half Edgar to me in a way, you know, where I was just like kind of like it didn't like fully commit, but it had some stuff, and I don't know, it just didn't quite do it for me. Still liked it though. I didn't think it was like a bad movie, but
yeah. I see where you're going.
What do you think?
I liked it. I won't say that I loved it though. I will say that I was slightly disappointed in the sense that I put it really high up. Like, I thought it was going to be amazing, you know? Like, I went in because I'd heard so much about it, and I thought it was just going to be...
And people are going crazy over it, too. Like,
people are going nuts. Like, people are like, this is the best film ever. And I just think I heard too much of that, and I went into it thinking, like, it'd be a lot better than it was. I thought it was okay. You know, it's like it's very entertaining. I just think it's getting a little overrated. Like, let's
Definitely
lower it down a tiny bit. What's going for it is it's really fun. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, I had a great time watching it. I was so into it. The music's great. It's feeling. One big thing that I really, the whole concept of the whole movie being driven by music. As an editor, I find myself in my own edits that I do all the time is I drive my edits with music.
For sure.
That's just how I work. Like, I have music and I cut to the music. Like, that's what I do. And it's interesting to see a whole film doing that.
Definitely.
And that I really liked. Like, the editing is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The cinematography is fantastic. All that's really fun and, like, just really good to watch. But there's moments in the film that don't quite click. They don't quite work. Especially the ending.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't a fan of the ending.
Didn't like the ending
and just
either.
like there's a couple moments that are just like it's almost there, you know? Like if it had been tweaked just a little bit more, it could be good, like amazing.
Yeah.
It could be amazing.
Totally.
And it was on the verge of that. So that's how I feel about it. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. Slightly disappointed. I just didn't think it was amazing.
Yeah.
I just think it's like a fun kind of cool watch.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's the thing, it's like I wouldn't say like don't go see Baby Driver. It's like if you're interested you should still go. But
yeah, go see it. Like
but it just like it felt to me like it was trying to be this new thing and it's just like it's gonna change because he kept referring to it as like a musical and all this stuff and it's like no. It's just like
not a musical.
It's just
no.
like
I mean,
edited to music, like more so, because like the pacing of the action is like almost that like trailer trope of like gunfire on like beats and stuff like that, which I didn't mind as much, but like to me stuff like that, it just felt like halfway there. It felt like they had it in there and they sprinkled it in, but then like it wasn't like fully committing to it. Like, if the whole movie was rhythmic, and it's just constantly changing up the rhythm, and you're, like, switching songs that have, like, the same BPM that, like, continue into this next scene. But it was just kind of, like...
Yeah.
They were pulling the Scorsese thing, where it's just, like, they're switching songs, like, every, like... You know what I mean? It's, like, song to song to song. And all the songs were good.
Yeah.
And I wasn't...
Yeah.
I was worried about it being, like, name-droppy and, like... Look at how cool my music taste is. You know what I mean? And I didn't get any of that at all. That didn't bother me at all.
No, not at all. I felt like... Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. You're good.
I just want a quick insert. I just want to say I felt like the music was just... It was there to serve the narrative. And it wasn't like a film going to like really popular songs. It was just like the songs are chosen to fit the mood of the film at the time. So that I respect. But anyway.
And I liked how like the scenes of him like scrolling back through the iPod to like time it out to the music, or like when he steals that one car and is searching for something on the radio, you know? It's like that stuff's fun, but it just I feel like it was too concerned with the set pieces and the music, and then like underneath that there's just like a really generic story that's just like super generic. You know what I mean?
It's all style. There's not a lot of depth.
Yeah,
to
and
it.
it's like
really.
It's hard because they try to make him a character, but it's just like all the things that are tropes. It's just like flashbacks with like vignettes and like orange like super warm lighting of like his parents fighting and getting in a car crash, or like he has like this foster dad that he takes care of. It's just like, well, he's immediately likable, you know, and it's just
fair enough. I don't see those as bad things though. Like that didn't bother me at all. I
liked the character
I thought he was a cool
of the foster dad, but the flashbacks kind of bothered me. I was like, I don't need these. I just didn't need them.
It's kind of like a superhero flashback type.
Yeah, but like
origin story.
Totally. But to me, it's like they covered. It was a thing where they showed it, and then they told it. It was like they showed it, and then like 10 minutes later, he's with the girl, and like you already have seen the cassette that says "Mom" on it when he makes these songs, and then he's like, "My mom used to be a singer." She's like, "Oh yeah, what does she do now?" He's like, "Nothing," and it's like, boom, there you go. It's like I didn't gain much from seeing that when I'm hearing it as well in the movie. And then they also explain his hearing thing a few times, and it's like, I didn't mind them explaining it, but it just seemed like everything that was covered in these flashbacks was also covered in dialogue, so, like, why are we showing it?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It didn't bother me. To be honest, it didn't.
Fair enough.
Like, I see what you're saying, but I think I did I like the film more than you. I think it's more of a, I see what you're saying, but it's just, for me, it was just really fun.
Yeah.
Just really good action, great editing. I thought Baby was a funny character, and like a funny in an interesting way. In that I'd never seen a character like that. A character that's just like, they're like, is there something wrong with him? Like, almost mentally ill. And he just has to listen to music all the time.
Yeah.
Him being obsessed with music, and just like music driving his entire life, literally.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought it was the concept was interesting.
Definitely. Well, yeah, I have no qualms with the concept.
I will also say that I thought it was weird with, you had the one set of characters, right? At the beginning, the first heist.
Yeah.
And they're like, we never have the same people.
Yeah,
again.
and then they just do.
And then they do it again.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
And also, by that
okay.
logic, he says we never use the same people that know each other twice, and you've also been my driver on every job. So it's like, so he never uses...
Well, he was the exception.
Huh?
He was the exception. He was the exception for those, because he mentions that.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I never do the same people twice, but you're kind of like my lucky charm. So I keep you around. But then, right after the next heist, the last one, is the same people from the first one.
Yeah.
All except for John Barenthal, or whatever his name is. It's like, okay. Also, he wasn't in the movie long enough. He needed to be in it longer.
Yeah. And
John Barenthal?
Yeah, definitely. I also felt like that opening scene kind of blew the load for the movie for me, because, like, that's the best chase in the movie, is the opening.
I agree. Yeah.
And, like, at the end, I kept waiting for the big finale chase to happen, and it never really happened. It was more of, like, a showdown between two people. So I kept being like, okay, they're doing the heist. Here's the big chase. Oh, no, not the big chase. Okay, they're going here. Here's the big chase. Like, oh, no, not the big chase. Oh, he's going to the diner. The big chase is going to be with the girlfriend. And it's like, oh, no, I guess not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they kind of just, like, blew it in the first scene, and then they never really got back to that level. And for a movie that is trying to be, like, this car chase movie, and the chases were good when they were there, it just...
I mean, yeah, the action's great.
It just felt like... It's just a bummer when you watch the movie and it starts really strong and I'm really liking it, and then like, if I were to know, just being like, oh yeah, that was the best chase. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get you. It's a movie I feel that's, like, there's not a lot of substance, there's not a lot of depth. Again, it's all style, all cover, but I do feel like also it's pretty rewatchable. That being said, I feel like I could watch it again, have a good time, knowing what it is. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I would watch it again. Like, I probably will at some point, but I feel like I got everything out of it that there was. Like, I don't know if I'll buy it. Like, it was just kind of like, for me, it was like a fun watch and a fun night at the movies, but it kind of ended there.
Bummer, man. Like, you were real disappointed in it.
Yeah, it just, I don't know, it just, like, didn't... I think a lot of it is the chemistry with the girlfriend just, like, did not work for me. No, and just, like, for me, the problem is they have this, like, meet cute. They meet. They hang out, like, what, 2 times? And then they're ready to spend their whole life together. And I get that it's this, like, idealized thing, and, like, he's dreaming of her in the black and white with the car, but, like,
It's kind of like Hollywood, or like old
Yeah,
style Hollywood type thing.
It just didn't really sell to me. And to me, it was just kind of like, why can't they just be like an established couple?
Right.
It's because, like, in that way, it's like, okay, these people already, like, clearly love each other. They're clearly ready to do that. It's like, why did he need to meet her in the movie? Because to me, it's just like, why is this girl so crazy about this guy? Like, I get why this guy's crazy, likes her. And it's like, why? I don't know.
Why is she into him?
And it's like, oh, he came in the diner with, like, a bunch of, like, clearly criminals. But it's like, that's okay. You also, like, bailed on me. But, like, you know, I don't know. It felt a little too, like, old, like you were saying, kind of like Hollywood style, like, romance. Yeah. But I didn't feel like the rest of the movie kind of had that vibe. And I know that there's the whole thing of, like, they need the leverage for Kevin Spacey, so he'll do the job because he's like, I know who you care about, I know your family, blah, blah, blah. But I guess to me, I didn't need... I liked the foster dad character with the sign language. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, the sign language subtitles, I like this. But...
yeah, totally cool.
It's like that and the girl character, I just, like, didn't need both of them. I felt like we were talking about earlier, it's just like, it's kind of empty, but it's just supposed to be fun. Yeah. So, like, just make it more simple. You know what I mean? Like, if there was no other character, and it's just, like, all him driving, and then there's, like, one other character. I felt like that's all it needed. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't necessarily upset that other stuff was there. It's just, like, I didn't feel like the movie needed it. It didn't really need much. Like, it could have been pretty stripped down and just, like, known what it was, but it was trying to give you the heart, and it was trying to make you care. But, like, I think I would have cared just as much if they just, like, threw it away and just went, like, this is a driving movie. These are the characters. Go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you make really good points. I can't really disagree with you. Makes sense.
But that being said, it's not... I feel bad, like I'm pooping on it or something. I didn't think it was, like, a bad movie. It just... and I also think that if this was, like, a first-time director or something and this came out, I would be less harsh on it, just knowing that Edgar Wright has the potential to make something that's, like, really good and has staying power. You know what I mean?
Well, apparently something's clicking because people are fucking loving it.
Yeah, I mean, people love it, so... I don't know. I'm a dingus.
At the same time, it's like I'm torn because it's like, yeah, I too expected a little bit more from Edgar Wright, but also it's like this is an original film we've never seen before, so it's like I want to support it in that sense.
Definitely,
too, you know what I mean?
Like
I
want
want
a rehash.
I want more original shit. Yeah, it's not a rehash. It's not like a fucking sequel or anything.
But it is. So, it is kind of tropish in the narrative, a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure, it is. It's totally tropish.
At least that. At least they like it's a cool director and they're doing cool things with it and like blah blah blah. It's good. You know, I'm not pooping.
I think that the whole thing is it revolves around the concept of it following a soundtrack.
Yeah,
that's the concept.
Yeah, totally.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, that's the basis of the movie, and that's what it follows. Things are not given that as much detail as that, you know, throughout the film.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things that are able to be picked apart. Simple things like we talked about having the people back to back. Like the same people twice.
Yeah.
It's like why?
Yeah.
He went out of his way to mention that he never uses them again. So why did he just get rid of that line?
Yeah.
Like
why is that line in the movie? Just cut it out. it's just kind of a weird thing.
Yeah. There's little things like that like throughout the film.
Also, maybe I guess not my biggest beef, but the biggest missed opportunity, I think, is why do they not use more or make more of his songs that he makes? There's this whole subplot
right.
that has one scene of him making beats with this recorder, and you see the tape recorder, and it never comes back until later, which is a really funny joke. That scene was hysterical.
Well, it comes back for the one song. It's there for the one song at the end.
Yeah.
You know?
And, like, I love that joke of them, like, that is the most outrageous excuse, and he plays it, and it's real. It's like, that was super funny. But,
yeah,
it's just, like, he picked the same tape that you heard earlier, And it's just like, why isn't he driving to like the music that he's making or something? Like, just have more, or have it be like a reoccurring thing of like every day there's a scene of him like at home like making this beat and then like cross-cutting or something like that. I just thought that was like a fun idea that they just kind of tossed in, and then it didn't really pay off except for a joke that was funny, and it was definitely funny, but
right.
I don't know, I thought that was cool, and they just could have explored that more, had more of those songs.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. One thing we didn't mention, one thing that I do really like was like the scene where he's walking through Atlanta, the city, and there's like that really long tracking shot.
Oh, that was a crazy shot, yeah.
Pretty impressive, actually. Definitely. I do think it was cool that it was obviously filmed in Atlanta, because most movies are filmed in Atlanta, and that it took place at Atlanta.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. I like that too. But yeah, I don't know. Jamie Foxx, I don't really like him as a person, but I respect that he's a good actor, you know?
Yeah.
And he made a good casting for his role of just like, you just want him to die.
I thought he was good. I like Jamie Foxx in the movie.
No, yeah, he was totally good. I just
totally.
personally don't
he's
don't
a
like
shithead
him
in the movie, but
yeah, totally. And I love John Hamm. John Hamm was great.
Yeah, he was good.
I thought it was. Oh, here's the biggest thing. I'm glad I finally remembered this. My biggest issue with the film is, why the fuck does Kevin Spacey just decide, I was in love once, I'm gonna help you now?
Oh yeah, totally. What the fuck is that? He's like, run.
Why?
And then they're like, what? And he's just like, didn't I tell you to run? And then he just like dies for them. It's like, what?
Yeah,
you weren't gonna let him take something that you don't give a shit about 5 minutes ago.
Well, also throughout the entire film, he's like an asshole to him.
Yeah.
He's a complete dick.
It's like the reason he's in this job is because he fucked up his car or something, and he's paying it off, right?
I guess they never really explain.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. That felt so weird. It was just like, what?
But he's paying him back, and then when he gets him back on the job, like one last job, he's like, you know that I can just kill your family and break your legs, right?
Yeah, it's like,
and I'll just so you like have to work for me. So it's like, if you're that cruel, like when it comes down to it, like you're not trying to save your own ass, and then you just sacrifice yourself for him. Like, doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. It's very weird.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I really didn't get that part at all.
What was that?
I feel like the end was just really sloppy, and like John Hamm's good, but like, why was the end just like him and John Hamm like crashing their cars in a parking garage? Like, just have a chase scene.
Yeah.
It's like, why? I don't know. It's just like, there's like,
and like what?
One really good chase scene in the whole movie. The rest are cool, but they're really small. It's like, when I left, the one in the beginning was the only one that stood out, and it's like labeling itself as a car chase movie. And like,
totally.
I also liked the foot chase. I thought the foot chase was cool and shot well, but like,
that changed it up. You know, it changed it up. It
was fun, but like, it's fun when there's promise of more coming, and then there's just not. It just felt like they were trying too hard to add weight into stuff when it's like, this isn't a movie that needs that, I guess.
They should have ended with one badass car chase to finish it off.
Totally.
And it's like, I mean, I guess it's really unexpected, and I guess cool that it played against my expectations of him being caught. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I liked that he got caught.
It was interesting, but then it's just like the very end when he gets out, and it's just like, it's just weird. I don't know. Just felt rushed.
I also
had to be a good ending. You know,
I liked that he got caught, but I did not like that it was just people on the stand saying how good of a person he was. It's like, he's a nice boy, and just like, it's like, I don't know if I needed this. Like, it's just kind of weird.
I don't know. It had to have a good ending, or a happy ending, I should say. Yeah, I don't know. It was strange. And then it's like, what would have been more devastating? Like, when you get a hint of it when John Hamm like fires the gun to like make him deaf.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like if he was actually deaf forever after that. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Totally. But
so he did it, and then he didn't commit to it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, his sound's coming back. It's like, come on, like if you do that, like that's a moment. It's like, oh man, like that's his whole world.
Totally. And also, it's a weird
You
thing
know?
where it's like John Hamm shoots him in the ears or by his ears, and it's ringing, and he's just like,
Right.
I wish you could hear her scream. I'm gonna kill your girlfriend. It's like, oh, you wish he could hear her scream? Don't shoot his ears. What? Like, it's just like a really weird line where it's just like, what are you talking
like-
about? Why'd you do that first? You know, this is kind of stupid.
You just went, you just went against like what you didn't want to happen.
Yeah, it's just like, what are you talking
What?
about? I don't know. There were certain lines like that where I was just like, why is that in here? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and it felt. I liked John Hamm. I liked him a lot, but I didn't feel like he should have been like the last villain. It should have been him and Kevin Spacey going at it.
Yeah.
You know, should have been them two at it, and him trying to kill the girlfriend, not him sacrificing himself. Like, it was completely out of character. It made no sense.
Yeah, it was weird, and also the character of his girlfriend just like did nothing in the whole movie. She just like made out with him and then was like, "Baby Driver's nice," and then just like patted him on the back. Like there was nothing to her at all.
It's like, yeah, why wasn't she ever at any point like, whoa, like maybe we shouldn't, like you're kind of crazy. You're in some shit.
Yeah.
You know?
It was just like, it seemed like John Hamm just like spoke for her in all the meetings, and then there's like one scene where she shoots 2 guns, so it's like, it's okay. But I don't know. It just, her character was weird. It was just kind of like, what's this character? She's just like with John Hamm making out all the time. Kind of unnecessary.
Oh yeah.
It's like, well, we can't have one woman in the movie, so let's just have one that does nothing. You know?
Right. Right. I don't know.
But that being said, the set pieces are still good. Good action. Good soundtrack. Good
editing.
Good editing.
Good
And
cinematography.
certain good performances. So it's not terrible, but I'm not
No,
saying it's a
definitely not
bad
terrible.
movie. It just was
And I'll tell you,
a little underwhelming.
overall, I did like it. I did like it. And I personally would watch it again. Like, I honestly want to watch it again, but it's just not on a pedestal as people are putting it.
Yeah.
Like, people are just raving the shit out of this movie, and I just don't think it quite deserves that. Like, it's got some issues.
Yeah, it's like, have you seen any of his other movies? Because to me, they're all better.
Yeah, I guess I could agree with
It's
that.
like, I think all the movies he's made before it are better. So it's just kind of a bummer. It's like, I don't know if every movie a director makes needs to be better, but if it's different and they're trying something new, and it's like he was trying something new, but I just didn't think it was successful, I guess.
It was almost there.
It was almost there.
almost
Totally.
there.
It was close. And it was like well-intentioned, but it just didn't make it for me. It just kind of felt, I don't know. The narrative was just kind of like loose, and I'd seen it before. So I just wish it was more simple. It's like, just make the movie more simple. Like, I don't need to know all this stuff about.
Like, if you're gonna be all style and about this music soundtrack, like simplify the plot points. You're
Yeah,
throwing out.
exactly. Because it's like, there's definitely things that can be trimmed from that movie, and I don't know. It just felt like a little much. And also, I just think it was a big mistake not to end on a big chase. Like, if you're don't have enough money to do 2 big chases,
Yeah.
don't start the movie with a huge chase. That's better than everything else in
Honestly-
the movie, you know?
Honestly, I would have loved to see. Forget him getting back with the girl at the end.
Yeah.
Like, just have that implied. Have him escape from prison. And then just, like, drive off and he's being chased at the end. And, like, that's it. End it there. Like, him just driving away and cop cars are following. Because there was kind of, like, a thing where he just kept getting away. Like, they just could not fucking keep up.
Yeah.
And I would have loved it. Like, a nice car chase scene. And then him just, like, escaping and just, like, driving off into, like, the sunset or some shit. And then being like, that's it.
Totally.
That's it. That's all you need. And not this like really really cheesy kind of make out shot as the last shot
Yeah.
and everything. Like,
It's a little cornball.
Yeah.
It's a little, like, tied up in a bow. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's like he got caught, but it still ended perfectly. It's like, why?
Yeah, except for those, like, 5 years he spent in jail?
And she stuck around? Like, come on.
Yeah, she stuck around for a guy that she had seen, literally seen, what, 5 to 10 times minimum? Like, just, I don't know. I just don't buy that, you know? And I get that.
Like you said, you should have had them already be a couple.
Yeah, because if they're already in a relationship, you don't need to explain anything. They're clearly just, like, in love with each other. And you can still have the thing of, like...
Easy fix.
Yeah, I just want to, like, drive in a car I can't afford, blah, 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 and just drive off. And it's like, you can still have that. It's just, like, that's the thing they talk about. I don't know. It's just, like, why does he need to meet this girl in the movie? I don't know. You know? It's like there's a relationship that you barely need to do any work to establish if they're already in a relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think we've said our opinions. What would you rate it?
I think I'm giving it a 3.
I'll give it 3.5.
Nice.
I definitely see that I enjoyed it more, and I don't know. We pretty much agree on everything. Yeah. Like, you brought up really good points. I also pointed out things that are just like don't make sense.
Yeah.
I think it's right there on the cusp.
It's a cusper,
but I think it's a little cusper, but it's a little overrated. It's not. I don't know. I don't want anyone to think, hearing this, that we're like totally pooping on this movie.
Yeah, like I don't think it's like a piece of shit or anything. It's
like, I want people to go see it.
It's good and it's worth watching. But
I just think you take it with a grain of salt and just go in an open mind. Just don't think it's gonna be like this mind-blowingly amazing film.
Yeah, because it's like I just want Edgar Wright. You know, it's like if Edgar Wright came out with a movie every year, every 2 years, I'd just go, yeah, it's fine. But it's like, and I know there's the whole Ant-Man thing, but it's like, we waited. Yeah. When did World's End come out? How many years ago? Like, at least like 4, maybe 5. Probably 4.
A while. Internet's being slow. I'm trying to look, but
it's just kind of like, oh, this is your. And I know he wasn't working on it the whole time. There was a whole thing with Ant-Man, but like, I waited 4 years for this.
World's End was 2013.
Okay, yeah.
So 4 years.
So it's just kind of like, if he was pumping them out and this was just one of them, kind of like a Soderbergh thing where it's like you take on a genre, kind of do your own thing with it, and then it's like, well, maybe I have 2 movies out this year, maybe just 1. And it's just like, well, I look forward to the next one. You know what I mean? But it's like, I waited 4 years for this. Who knows how long for the next movie? It's just kind of a bummer.
To be fair,
it's not up to snuff. But what were you saying?
To be fair, it's every movie he makes is about 3 years in between. That one was 4, probably because of Ant-Man.
It just takes more time.
So it's kind of the. But yeah, you
can tell because he's a very. He seems like a director that would be like, I can see the whole movie in my head while we're shooting. Like, knows exactly what they want, knows where the cuts will be. Like, you know what I mean? But
he's a total fanboy filmmaker too. Yeah. Like, he loves movies. You know that too.
Definitely.
You get that from everything that he makes.
It just
so I think it was maybe a little bit too kind of like praise to fandom in this. Like, trying to be something great than actually, like, being great.
Definitely. I agree.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to, shall we do it? To
the Beguiled.
Yeah, Sofia Coppola's The Beguiled, starting right now.
Girls, we all need to help. Quickly, he's losing blood.
I pray that the Lord see fit to restore the health of the wounded soldier.
We ask for your protection over our school, and we pray that we will be kept from harm throughout the night.
Amen.
Seems like the soldier being here is having an effect.
If you could have anything in the world, what would it be?
To be taken far away from here. We can show him some real Southern hospitality.
Corporal McBurney's stay here has taught us all a very important lesson.
Can I get you anything?
The enemy is not what we believe.
Beguiled, the new film by Sofia Coppola. Zach, what'd you think?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good.
Nice.
Yeah, it was subdued for sure. Definitely seems different. I haven't seen the 70s film, but
Me neither.
definitely seems a lot different than that. But I thought it was good. I liked that it was short. Not in a bad way. It's just like was not a movie I was expecting to be so concise.
Yeah.
I thought all the performances were good. I liked the younger girls that I hadn't seen before, especially the one who gives him the like prayer book. I thought she was really good.
Yeah, she was good.
Nicole Kidman was great. Kirsten Dunst was good. Elle Fanning was like good. I didn't think
She was not her best role, but
she
it was
did the
fine.
Elle Fanning thing. She didn't have that much,
right
to work with, but I don't know. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed watching it. Colin Farrell was good, and it was a real tasty looking baby. Say that.
Oh,
That was it.
it looked great.
That was a tasty morsel right there.
It looks great. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was fine. I don't really have like that much against it. I just it sort of came. It was here. It was great, and then it left. The tension rose and it was gone as fast as it came. But I do think while that tension was there, I think it was really interesting. Like, I don't know. There's something about Sofia Coppola's movies that are just, I don't know. I like them. I like the style of. I don't know what it is. She has like this thing with them. Like,
Yeah,
it's the way they're shot, the way they're like paced.
they're pretty specific.
Like,
She definitely has her own style,
which is amazing.
Yeah,
Good for her.
Totally.
But yeah, it looked fantastic. The cast really is like where it's all at. I mean, everyone was great. Like the little girl, like you said with the prayer book, was so good. And the more I thought about it, like Kirsten Dunst, although she didn't like have a lot of lines,
She was good.
her performance,
Yeah.
and like the sadness in her eyes, dude. Like it just, there's a lot going on, emotion wise, with her character, which I really respect.
Totally.
And,
Not everything needs to be said.
No, exactly. And this film kind of it's like a really good experiment in tension. Because you have like different types of tension. Like there's obviously sexual tension, and then there's also just like terrifying type.
Yeah, scary tension.
Like
shit's
like
gonna go
scary
down.
tension.
Yeah.
Yeah, like something bad's gonna happen. And the play in that was really, really interesting. Colin Farrell was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I don't know. It's not much to say. I guess it's in spoiler town, so we can.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't have ended with the.
Yeah, because I'm a little toasted. But yeah, I don't know. I do think. I don't know. I lost my thought.
Yeah.
What's the percentage on this thing that I just drank? Oh, it's only 6.5. Who am I?
I've heard that the original film is a lot more brutal. I've heard that it's like it gets crazier and like weirder and more.
It seems definitely
kind of
more like an exploitation film or something.
Yeah, exploitation, but also kind of it's a little I guess more psychedelic because it was the 70s and it was kind of there's more sex because 70s and people are into that type of thing. But yeah, this was definitely subdued, but it was completely effective.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it was interesting too to portray the girls as part of the Confederacy, not them being scared of like a Confederate soldier, but being the opposite, being like the other way around. I thought that was like a cool difference that we don't usually see in film.
Yeah. What's your say on the controversy about it?
The controversy meaning what?
Have you not heard that people are a little upset about it? About like
about that?
Yeah, well, just about the movie and that like, because in the book and in the previous film, there were black characters who were slaves that were in the story, and the book it's told from everyone's different perspective. Like there's different chapters with different voices.
I did hear that,
and that one of them is from a slave's perspective, and that they just cut them out of the movie. And
they just didn't have any slaves.
Yeah, and on one hand, it's like, I think it's just kind of like a misguided thing. It's like, on one hand, yeah, you're like idealizing like the South in this period, which like it wasn't like that. It wasn't just like fine, and like also it like then makes this movie only for like have white people in it. But on the other hand, I understand what she was saying about like she didn't want. Apparently, she said she didn't want to like portray the only African American characters as slaves, and it's like I get that, and
I get that,
and also it's like the movie's very trim and focused, and 90 minutes. It's very 90 minutes, but
yeah, totally.
So like I get just like wanting to keep it lean, but it is just kind of like a weird thing of like. You write out these characters by just saying, like, the slaves left. And it's just like, oh, they just left? How? Like, doesn't seem like they'd be allowed to just leave. You know what I mean? It's just.
I think they just, like, assumed, like, they just, like, ran away to run to the north,
Yeah.
They're like, they don't have a man to keep them around,
Yeah, it's not necessarily something that bothered me, because I really liked the movie. But it's just, I do think it's like an interesting talking point of just, where do you, like, how much can you, like, omit something from history and not have it be an issue? Because it's like, you also, the point of the movie isn't about racism in the South. Like, that's not what the movie's about.
Right.
But also, it's like, by shying away from it and just not showing it at all is kind of strange. But what were you saying?
I guess that doesn't bother me. I think Sofia Coppola, like she's not trying to like make it like she's definitely not trying to glorify the South. She's trying to focus on that tension and that sexual tension of these girls, like, and that's it. Like that is what it's about. So to get rid of the other characters is not to just exclude them and be like, well, it's not worth talking about. It's like she didn't want to make it about race. She wanted to make it about this story. And just getting rid of them and having them run away is like, now you don't have to deal with that. It's like, it's not saying like that was right. It's not saying like the South was better and that
I don't think
slavery was
it's
okay
saying that at all.
I know. I know you don't think that.
There's a part of the movie that's like the production design of like the dresses and the house and like all this stuff that like. And I did read a quote of her just saying, like, the South is, like, so exotic. I love it. It's such, like, a cool... Which it's not exactly what she said. That's not, like, an exact quote. But it is... Right. I just think I don't necessarily feel strongly one way or the other. I just think it's an interesting thing of, like, I can see both sides of, like, well, for the movie, this is the way to say what I want to say and the most concise way and keep it focused. But also people saying, like, well, you're kind of just, like, writing off, like, what this entire war was kind of about. You know what I mean? And, like, omitting.
I guess.
But also, it's, like...
It doesn't bother me. It's just,
well, there's also
fine.
A point, though, of, like, I don't know what this other character is in this movie. Like, what happened to her? Because, also, I don't know if this is confirmed, but I'm pretty sure they shot her as well. Maybe not. I heard from someone told me that they shot this character like for the movie and did not include it like in the edit. But
like they actually had it in the script and everything?
Yeah, but I could be wrong about that. But that also just makes
that's
me think,
a little bit of a different story.
Yeah, that just makes me think like what is this other story, and like what did that bring? What layer did that bring to the movie? You know what I mean? I'm just curious about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't think every story about the Civil War has to be about racism. You know?
Well, yeah, but it doesn't necessarily need to be about racism, but to not, like, to pretend it's not happening, kind of. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I agree.
Sure.
I agree. Like, I don't think it has a place to be the centerpiece of this movie.
Like, I see where you're coming from, and I see, like, I get it. I totally get it, but it's like, that's not what the story's about. It just happens to take place in that time.
I agree.
It doesn't have to be about it. It's just not about it. It's not about it.
No,
it's not about the Civil War. It just takes place in that era. So it's like, I don't know.
I don't feel strongly about it either way. I just think it's an interesting thing, because thinking about it,
it is.
I feel like I rationalize one side and then I see the other side and go, oh, but that makes sense too. But then it's like, oh, but like for the movie this, and then it's like, oh, but also this. I feel like
totally
completely conflicted by it. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. I totally get where you're coming from, and you know, I totally can sympathize with that opinion. To me, it just wasn't about.
Yeah, it's just not about that.
But it's an interesting point to bring up. Like,
but also it's like,
why was that omitted?
This version isn't about that, but there is a version that has that as an element to the story. So like, what is that element? I'm just curious. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
which makes me want to watch the older one. Or
I want to watch it.
Or like read it.
I want to watch it.
I don't know. It just.
It's on Amazon.
Oh really? The previous the 70s version with Clint?
Yeah. Yep.
I
might watch
Siegel,
it.
Right? Directed it.
Yeah, with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. What else did he do?
And plus, I've heard it's more brutal, so I'm like really curious to see it.
Yeah, because there's like not very much. I mean, it's not a very graphic movie at all. It's like not.
No.
It's like the one thing that crazy that like really happens isn't shown at all.
I thought honestly it would be more torture-y. Like I thought it was gonna get like crazy.
Yeah.
Based on the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were gonna like mutilate him.
Yeah.
But I mean, they didn't. They just cut off his leg, and he like overreacted, and then they poisoned him, and that was it.
Yeah, totally.
There's actually not a lot that happens.
Yeah, which I kind of like.
Fine.
It's just like short, direct. It's a short,
just
direct
a little story
with not many bells and whistles, but it's something that can be read into extensively. It's like it's a very this happens, narratively on paper, but I mean I've been thinking about it all day. I saw it this morning, and it's just like I feel like there's a lot of rewatch value in terms of like motivation for character, and there's just like a lot of psychological stuff that's going on that maybe you would like read into or empathize more with the more viewings you do, which is kind of why I admire it, is that they managed to make something short and simple and to the point, but that's not like a closed book when it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to have the story literally be from the moment he's found to the moment he's dead.
Which also,
you know,
quick check just for myself. How does the movie open?
It opens with her picking mushrooms.
Okay, that's it.
She finds Colin Farrell.
It's just the shot of the trees, and then it moves down, and then the titles. Okay, I was coming in like just late, and I walked in, and it was black, and then it just cut on. So I literally made it in perfect time, but I was like, hold on. Was that a logo that it cut to black from? Like, was that a previous scene? Like, did I miss something? I was just making sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah. Did you see the title card, though?
I did see the title card.
I fucking hated it.
Yeah? Did not
I
like
thought
the
it was
title card?
Dude, it looked pixelated. And
it looked stretched out. Which...
It looked like compressed. It was like compressed, and it was just like... real sloppy, dude.
I felt like
really,
it was.
really
I felt
sloppy.
like it was going for like a low budget 70s look.
I guess, but it just looked bad.
I don't know if I loved it. Like I think I got what it was trying to do, but I didn't love it. Thought it was like fun.
Like they made it look better in the
Yeah,
but in the trailer and the advertising and the marketing, they make it look nice.
Yeah,
just like use that. Just use that. Like
yeah.
I don't know. Like they made it look better. Like this looks like shit.
It was squishy.
We got to market this film.
It was a little squishy.
It's squishy and it's pixelated. It looks like it was like stretched. Mm-hmm. It didn't quite. Yeah, it was like real low res and they stretched it. Yeah. That's what it looked like. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
Anyway,
didn't love it. Didn't hate it. Didn't love it.
I like the idea of what they were going for. Just get a higher res logo.
Higher
res. That's all. Higher res. Oh, and what was there was one other thing I forgot. Damn it. There's another thing I had to say. Oh, there was one point probably about 30 minutes into the movie. My throat was killing me. I was like, I didn't have a drink or anything.
Yeah.
I was like, I needed something to drink.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm dying. So I was like, I gotta go. So I went and like bought a Coke and came back. So I probably missed like 8 minutes.
Whew.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. It was really in the beginning before anything launched. I don't think I missed anything important.
Yeah.
But there is that one little key detail there.
Yeah.
I probably missed like 5 to 8 minutes.
Do you remember when you left?
Cool. More like 5, probably. It was like a lot of good stuff was happening, and then it hit like a slow period. It was like the moment where the girl had been talking to him, his leg's been fixed, and they're kind of just like going about their daily lives. It was like in there.
It's hard to pinpoint.
Yeah.
I get you.
I
totally get you, but like, it's hard because it's like, well, it's kind of the first hour of the movie. You know what I mean? Well, I guess not with his leg fixed. Not with his leg fixed though. But it's just really funny how much of the beginning of the movie is like him in the room and then like a girl listening and then being like, no, go do your work.
Oh, I saw like all that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. It's just a funny thing. Like I was thinking watching it like that the repetitiveness was kind of funny.
Right.
Of just like every time anyone's in the room, there's like a girl like listening to like what's happening. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. I thought or what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
I chuckled. I guess I understand why it was in the movie, but I chuckled at the when they're poisoning him with the mushrooms, and she's like, would you like any? And to Kirsten Dunst, she's like, yes, I would love some. And then they're just like, you don't like mushrooms, and she goes, oh, I guess you're right. And just like hands it back.
She's like, oh, right,
really funny.
yeah.
And I guess it's like, did you read it as she was picking up on that they were poisoned, or just that she was trying to not be like so chummy to Colin Farrell?
How I see it is like she was just so kind of lovingly like seeing him through rose-colored glasses.
Wrapped up in Colin Farrell that she's I'll eat them, and then she's like, actually, no, I don't like these mushrooms.
She's like, oh yeah, mushrooms. I'm not even paying attention to that. I'm just paying attention to Colin. That's how I read it.
Same here.
But then she was like, but then he died, and she was like, okay with it.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting because I saw it with my girlfriend, and she was like, did she know about the mushrooms? Like, and I was like, I don't know. Like, did she, or was it just a thing of like? Because I initially picked it up, I like didn't even think about that, but it's like, did she know? Like, was she like, ooh, there are poison mushrooms? You know what I mean? Like, because she knows the lands like around there.
Yeah, I guess.
So I don't know. That was just a thing, but I thought that was funny. I was just like, no,
I did think it
you're
was
right. It's just like, I don't like them. Take it back.
I did think it was a little strange and not quite realistic how they kind of all decided that they were just going to kill him. You know? Like, I feel like I don't know. Like, the little girls were in on it, but they were all about, like, being good Christians. And then they want to fucking murder them. I'm just thinking about this now. It's just like, It's like,
I guess I didn't have as much of a problem with it.
Why?
I don't know why, but
they just accepted it. They're just, Nicole Kidman's like, yeah, it's a good idea. Grab some mushrooms. We're gonna poison him. We're gonna make a nice dinner, and we're gonna kill him.
Yeah,
it's like
I guess it's more
okay.
like I don't mind the children's reactions much because they're being taught by her and like she's their guidance because they're literally trapped in only with them, like literally behind bars, kind of.
Yeah,
not to the full extent. But like,
their world is perceived only through that.
Yeah,
only there.
So it's like if this is what this woman who's raised me and teaches me everything, if this is what she says is correct, like this is what we should probably do. You know what I mean? But the little girls were pretty gung ho for it, and
I feel like they were too gung ho for little girls. Like they probably would have had a guilty conscience. I don't know.
But also I feel like part of it too could be just that they're young and like aren't really realizing what they're doing. Like the girl who said like there's other mushrooms, you know, who initially comes up with it is like the girl who's his friend and he says is really special, but then it's just like freaks out in that one scene. It's just like you know, like waving a gun around, being an asshole, like So I can also see of like how, and this is why I think like this movie will be really good to rewatch, just to like get more of like these motivations through, because I do think there's like seeds planted for things earlier on, and
will you buy it?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what that price is. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I think I would at some point. I liked it a good bit. I thought it was good, and it's
something that being in the moment in the film is really good. Like I was loving it. Like being in the film, like in the middle of the film, I'm like fucking loving this movie. You know, I don't know, just the way it's paced is really nice.
Yeah,
it's really tasty.
It's tasty. It's short, sweet. Just like oof, just a cool 90 minutes. You know what I mean? Just like slow.
It ends real fast.
I'm all about the ideal movie is a slow-paced, short movie where you feel like you've seen something longer, but it's shorter because it's so slow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just the best. Just give me all that.
Sure.
Love the look too. I know we said it before, but like, it looked so good. All those like low angle shots with like really shallow depth of field and like oof. But they're wide. It's like wide, shallow shots, low. Oh, loving it. Just all about it.
I thought Colin Farrell was a really good choice.
Definitely.
As the guy, because he did a really good job of being really charming.
Yeah.
Like really charming and like polite, but also like he had that man's edge to him. You know what I mean?
He's a believable soldier, but he's also like a believable fairy tale hunk. So it kind of like melds together in a nice way.
Yeah, and he's like a totally good-looking guy too. Yeah. So having these girls who have no men around, it like worked out.
And also just him not having an act, just talking normally as he does. It seemed like he still had his like normal accent and wasn't trying to correct
his Irish accent.
And I feel like that adds to the sort of like, ooh, you know, it's kind of a little accent. You know what I mean?
Totally. Also, it made sense too in the story because he talks about how he came off the boat from Dublin.
Yeah, totally.
So that's how he talks, and it made sense for the character.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I liked it.
I like the idea too of how they play with the concept of what would really happen is like this guy, they recover, then they kind of like grow to like him. Like they kind of like him around, but he's an enemy soldier, so. You kind of have to go, but he's like, you need a man's help. Like I can stick around. You know, I don't want to go back. And that kind of that tension there, more tension of like, do we let him go? Do we keep him here?
And it's like he is well intentioned, but also then he is like insane. But he did get like his leg cut off, and that's got to be a lot to deal with. But then he also is just like the worst. But then he's fine. Yeah. It's just a weird thing where I feel like a lot of it's like microcosms for bigger things and just like
it's like also he's a fucking sleaze because he went after like an underage girl.
Exactly, yeah.
But also he made Kirsten Dunst like fall in love with him. But was he just doing that to have someone on his side? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like...
Was he just doing that and then
immediately
was like, oh shit, I can get a younger girl? Shit, dude. Let's go with that.
Yeah, shut up.
Oh,
She's
shit,
totally
I'll just
flirting
do
with me
that.
too,
what
Dad.
am I thinking, dude?
Exactly. Oh. And there's a little bit of tension there too with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, seriously. She's totally going in for that.
She's
kind of
like goes in for it.
It's like, oof.
Yeah. She's a good-looking older lady, man.
Definitely.
Holy
She looked
shit.
different in this movie. Did you feel that? I feel like maybe it's just like the way she looks older. I don't think she looked like old, you know. She's still looking good, but like I feel like there was something about like her teeth that just like read different. Maybe I'm crazy.
I'm kind of used to her because she looked the same in Big Little Lies.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've seen
I haven't
that.
seen that.
Which I honestly think it's probably my top 3 best TV shows this year.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
She's amazing at it. Anyway, yeah, she's kicking ass right now. But yeah, she looked the same in that. Like she just looked older, but also, yeah, I don't know, just how she looks now.
Yeah. She was good though. Everyone was good. It's a good flick.
Yeah. All right, so what do you rate it?
Give it a 4.
Ooh, big 4 then. 3.5 for me.
3.5. Fair enough.
We're always a half star away from each other.
Yeah, it's really funny.
That's the difference here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we pretty much agree, but it's always a matter of that one little half star.
Yeah.
Of the other person
someone's
liking it
got
more
a
than the
little
other.
bump. You know what I mean? A little bump on someone.
Yeah. Can't have it be the same, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also, I already had that in my mind. Like, I feel like we've had this in our minds before we actually each review.
Oh yeah, I totally like try to have a star rating before the show.
Oh, for sure.
There are times though
For sure.
where it's like, is it?
Sometimes you change my mind, dude.
Is it 4.5 or is it like a 3.5? I don't know. Like, make the call. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you change my mind. I will admit that for Baby Driver, it wasn't sealed, but I was like sitting on a 4. Sitting on a 4.
All right.
But you talked to me, I was like 3.5. Got to bring it down half star because it makes sense.
What are you gonna do? You know.
Yeah. So. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for this episode, folks. Hope you enjoyed listening to our 3 reviews of these great films. Seriously, go watch all 3 of them.
They're all worth seeing.
They are all worth seeing.
You got to prioritize though.
Fact.
You go Okja, you go Beguiled, you go Baby Driver. You know what I mean?
Agreed. That's the order. You gotta do it. There's no excuse for Okja because it's on Netflix.
Just fucking pop
Turn
some
that
corn,
on.
pour a nice glass of water.
Dude, water.
Dude, I just got a big glass of water. Just fucking
drank that shit right up.
This was nice and hydrated watching the film. I don't know why I think this is funny. Whatever.
I was nice and hydrated. Went down real smooth. As always, you can find all of our episodes on iTunes, Google Play, Podomatic, YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can email us at listentousrantaboutmovies@gmail.com. That's it. Zach, great episode, buddy.
Good job, bye.
And how's that beer doing? How you feeling with the beers?
Good. Feeling toasty.
Same here, buddy.
That cream still going down smooth?
I got used to it. It's making me feel
Sipping
toasty,
through
so
the pain.
I'm good. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Not a summer beer.
I gotcha.
But it's labeled as such, but it does not taste like one. Anyway, good talk, buddy.
Talk,
Until
man.
next time.
Until next time.